everyone, welcome to another episode of OEM Showcase on location. Today we're talking about the CrossRoads Redwood. It's come back and is better than ever. With me is Hilton Riggins. Hilton is the product manager. Hilton, this looks fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much, man. It's it's been a work in progress. We're really happy with the improvements that we made, and very happy to actually get this displayed out to the public.
Now, the Redwood, of course, is a long-standing fifth wheel brand, high-end all the way through.
Yes.
But it's all new this year.
Yes, correct. We even from a construction standpoint, we went to a different frame, 3-inch sidewalls. We added went to a triple axle as well, and what you can see the most of is all new paint as well.
Hilton, I'm dying to see the inside, but this outside is something else. I'm really curious, what's behind door number 3?
All right, hey, come on down. All right, so one of the things that we really like to talk about at Redwood is inside of our storage compartment area, there's 3 things in here. The first one is going to be your filtration system for your water up there by your sink. And then we also, on the other side, we have a whole house water softener, which is really awesome. One of the big things when you go to a campsite, you end up with that really hard water. This gives you that true home feel right there in your campground. So, and then also what we have is a manifold system, which is really awesome. If you happen to, want to do something to the dishwasher, you come in here, cut that off, and still the rest of your coach will be operational. And so one of the things we did for 2025, a lot of things we tried to make standard. And starting with our windows, these are all going to be frameless windows, which are going to be your dual pane windows, which give you that really nice comfort feature that a lot of high-end buyers are looking for. And then we also made our slide toppers standard on every single floor plan that we actually build in the Redwood lineup. And then also this year, what we did for our 2025 model year is we added in a triple axle. So you get 3 axles, 7K on each one of those, and then you're also getting your H-rated tires with a 17.5-inch rim.
Love the outside, but I can't wait to get inside.
All right, hey, follow us.
Nice,
all
nice.
Right. Yes. Yeah, this is where all the great things happen. So one of the things when you first come inside that you see is the cabinetry. And this is one of our more popular colors. This is what's called sage green. It has really taken, its flight once we introduced this color across the board. We also have another color that we offer, which is dust. So it's going to be a little bit darker than what you see here. In this floor plan, you get tons of countertop space. And one of the great things here is you got your pop-down spice racks. You have one on this end, and as you can see, we also put one on this end too as well. All right. And the other thing I like to point out too is our backsplash. This isn't that peel and stick. This is a true, residential, high-end, hand-laid backsplash. All right, it's a really nice feature there. Now, getting back to what I said about some things we made standard. Another thing is we added in a dishwasher. That comes standard on every single floor plan that we do. So a really nice feature there, all right? And then also what I like to point out is on our drawers, everything is dovetail. And every single drawer, soft close as well. So a really nice feature. Like I said, we really try to provide you with that true residential feel. It's home away from home.
The other thing I really appreciate, and we're in the 415 RD,
yes,
we should mention that,
yep, is
there's plenty of storage. I mean, if I'm going to be camping for a while, I'm good.
Yeah. So one of the big things, when you look at designing a floor plan or anytime you're dealing with, trying to provide space for that end user, it doesn't matter if it's a small space or a big space. The more storage you have, the better that, end user feels like they can bring along all their goodies.
Well, lead on. Let's see some more.
All right. So another thing that this kind of like an industry-wide thing is a lot of people have gone to the 5-function multi-sink. So you guys can control here. Really cool option here is for like washing your glasses. This is your filtered drinking water that we saw earlier downside. Soap dispenser. Then you got your standard washer up there, and then you're also going to have a waterfall that comes in to rinse as well. So really cool feature there. All right, over here in your dining area, you got table seating for two, but you also have it where you can extend the table out. All right, and then you also can extend it here. And then if you get that occasional guest, you have 2 more chairs that come with it, and then you have additional seating. Now, as you walk into the living area, one thing about the RD gives you a tremendous amount of seating. All right, starting with your theater seating, you have your heat, massage, and there's also motorized. And then you're also going to have your opposing sofas. And these actually pull out. You can actually have one side come out. You can do both. They butt up in the middle. We like to call, when they both are out, we call that the shack bed. So really pretty cool there. You're going to have your 65-inch TV, and then you're also going to have your 6,000 BTU electric fireplace. The fireplace does a great job of really taking that chill off the room in the morning. It'll heat up the front half of this coach to about 72 degrees. And earlier we were talking about storage, and I know it's not one that you can reach, but you can kind of, see where you can get that additional storage up high. And reason for that is you can put some things up here that you might not use on a daily basis, but at the same time allows you to actually gain more storage space throughout the coach. One of the other things I like to point out too is our Firefly system. This is a multiplex system. What this allows you to do is everything is through a touchpad control throughout the coach itself. And then the true benefit of it is being that everything's here in a central location, it also has a diagnostics on it too as well. And what that does is it allows you to troubleshoot. It gives you a code, and then that helps you to get in touch with the service provider, and they can figure out what is actually wrong. And then what it is, when people are living in these for an extended time, we want to get them back on the road as quickly as possible. With options like this really helps us to actually make their experience with their coach 10 times better. Now, one of the things that I always like to point out, something that we've gone to new for our 2025 model, is right here. I've got one button, all right, and I can sit here and hit the retrieve button, and all of our blinds come up.
That's
now,
nice.
Yeah. Now, you can operate these as one on the master switch, or also you can do them individually too as well, which is really great. So a couple of things before we actually go upstairs. I want to talk about some of the things that you actually don't see in a coach, which really play a great role in your longevity of the coach itself. So starting with the floor, something that we've actually gone to is the hyper deck. And what that is it allows you to actually have a floor that will never rot on you. So any type of water that you might ever get in your coach, which we hope never happens, but if you do, you won't have to actually deal with any type of a dry rotting in that floor. This hyper deck floor, it will last you a lifetime. And then also pointing out with the point in the front storage compartment, your frame. Now, something we did with this frame is we actually went to what's called a 6x6 tube. Okay, so now we have a lot more strength in the front half of the coach. The tubing up there also allows us to actually have more walk-in space when you go into that closet. So typically, a lot of times your washer and dryer might not fit, or it's kind of butted out a little bit, or your closet's going to be shallow. As you're going to see here in a moment, when we walk into that front closet, we actually had to have a tremendous amount of space. All right, so as you come into the bedroom, something standard on every one of our floor plans, every bed will have an adjustable bed, all right? And the reason why we do this is a lot of times you're sitting here at night, you want to, sit up, watch TV, read a book. This also allows you to do so. You got power on both sides of the bed, and it's also on up here for your charging station. And then like we talked about before, that multiplex, one of the features of this is if you're laying in your bed, and you say, I don't want to get up anymore for the night, you can come right over here and hit this master switch, and you can cut every light off on the entire coach. So it's really cool from that standpoint too. You got a 35-inch TV, his and hers wardrobes on both sides, all right, and then extra drawers down below too. All right, so when you walk into the bathroom, one of the first things you're going to notice, you're going to have his and hers sink, mirrors as well, and then medicine cabinet up above. All right, we got standard max fans all the way throughout. We also have a one-piece shower with a built-in seat, And then right here, it's probably one of the best showers as far as in the business. You can get a nice massage, got your handheld control. I mean, if it was up to me and I wasn't at a campground, I could stay in there for 2 hours. But, you know, I don't want to use up all the water. Also, like I talked about before, when you walk into our closet, you're going to notice that the floor with that step up is all the way in the back. Typically, that's probably another, 3 feet in front. But what we're able to do with that step up, being that it's pushed all the way back, we got a more flush floor, and you actually got a lot of walk-in space inside the closet as well. And talked about some of the things that we made standard, like I mentioned before, is every floor plan for Redwood comes standard with the washer and dryer. All right, so like before, like we talked about with Firefly, you have additional touch pads throughout. This particular one here actually can be removed from the from the wall itself. And then you can control your living, your ceiling fan in the living room, your kitchen lights. You can also control your awnings, your dinette. And then also, like we talked before up in the bedroom, you also have your master switch. So if you want to cut off all your lights at one time, hit one button and you're good to go.
Hilton, this is one fantastic unit. I absolutely can see why you're getting the tremendous feedback already on it. Just so comfortable. Everything's just right where you need it to be.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the word comfortable, because that's one of the things we actually take into consideration, for that customer that's out in a hot climate. Well, we also provide 3 ACs up top standard on every one of our floor plans. And those are going to be your Whisper Quiet, Coleman Mach 8s, low profiles, and they're going to be a lot quieter than your standard AC in the industry. But then something we do, we go a little bit step further to help out that end user, is we use a system called a MERV 9. And what this actually does is it provides, filtered air inside the coach, so that way, if somebody's got allergies or anything along those lines, we're going to help to try to improve the air quality inside the coach.
Absolutely impressive. Home run right off the bat. Love it. Yeah. Hilton, thank you so much for showing us around.
Yeah, thanks so much, and I'm really glad to have you guys out. And hey, see you at an RV dealership near you.
Well, see you next time.